What's up, people? This is Jean-Claude Metuku, and I have a question for you. How would you feel if someone was to just force you to call them Sir, Mrs., Mister? Would that be appropriate? Would you feel hurt? Would you feel forced or coerced? Well, if you're wondering right now, that is becoming the norm here in Quebec. And I'm going to read you guys something, if you allow me. I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Yeah, so that's what's happening right now. And I thought I should, in fact, create a presentation or just a quick video so that you understand what I'm talking about. All right. So here we go. So, according to the news, actually, as of the beginning of this year, Quebec's new civility rules mean students must address teachers as Mrs. or Miss or Mr. or Mrs. I'm just going to read quickly and I won't go through the whole entire thing. So it says that Quebec students returning to class after the winter break will now have to use formal language to address their teachers and the new rules designed to foster civility. I'm just going to stop there and I think you can read this a little bit later on your own. Yeah, so, for me, it made me think a little bit on, where we're heading, and I just wanted to see what you think about that. So, as you know, this podcast is about sharing my experiences, but also we'll have different people who will share their own experience of immigration experience or their own experience here in Canada. And, I'm making this video mainly because I come from a society or from a country. I was raised in Uganda, where it is a norm actually to call your teacher Mister and to call your other teacher Mrs. And the word Sir is very common. And I don't think it's only in many African countries. I think many Asian countries as well. Teachers are revered, and there is this sense of respect that is often expected from students. So the term civility for many people who come to Canada or many people who are new to Canada, that is an expectation. So when I came here to Canada, like I still called my teachers by Mister and Mrs. And so did many of my friends as well, both Canadians, but a majority of them who came from Africa or different other countries tended to use that word. And indeed, calling your teacher by their first name, I usually found that a little bit strange. Now, I'm not saying that I did not enjoy having that close relationship with my teachers. And many people actually argue that by calling your teacher by their first name, by kind of creating this informal structure, it helps students to approach teachers a little bit more. It allows them to see them as, I don't want to say peers, but, it just makes that conversation and interaction a little bit easier. But for me, as someone who came from a country where teachers are held to the highest pedestal, somebody calling somebody older than me, sir, madam, Mrs., was always something that I didn't see any issue with. But now that it's being mandated in Quebec, I think I can see how many people take it a little bit differently. Now, the argument here, I think the main one is that allowing kids or students to be more civil, it will create a culture of respect, but also it will, I think it will just create order and promote civility. The other big thing is that there is another school of thought that says, hey, by forcing kids to call teachers sir and Mrs., it might actually hurt the relationship that they already have. Meaning, some children or some students who may already have a decent collegial relationship with their teachers may find it difficult to approach them by you now that you insert this mandate that now you have to call them by this particular sir or mister whatever. Many people are arguing that that might actually create a distance or a gap between that relationship, and it might make things a little bit harder. And there is also an argument that, hey, the whole policy should be applied on the case by case basis, because there are some people who come from other cultures where the concept of Mr. and Mrs. does not necessarily exist. So by imposing this new requirement where a teacher now has to be called sir or Mrs., or there are other terminologies such as instead of using tu, now you have to use the word vous, which implies more respect, just a language that promotes civility in the academic setting. They're thinking that, that could create some element of a disparity, especially for kids whose cultures or whose languages do not have, such titles, or where the language does not have a difference between tu versus vous, and there is some argument there. But I'm curious though, given how multicultural Canada is, do you foresee these as a challenge? Do you think many people will struggle? Do you think this a particular new policy will negatively impact people? If so, why? And if you believe that this is a great thing, why do you think so? For me, I'm a little bit indifferent in the sense that I do understand that maybe some people feel a little bit closer to their teachers by using their first name or just calling them whatever other form of address, whatever that is. But I also do understand, having been brought up in a country where respect and civility was a norm. I also see the other side of the coin. But before I impose my own thoughts and my own views on this particular issue, I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think Quebec is heading towards the right direction? Should other provinces adopt this? And why the case? Is it because you feel like teachers are being disrespected? If that's the case, if you're a teacher, what do you think? Is this a good thing, or do you think it's going to impact your relationship with your students? So let us know. Let me know what you think, and maybe we can continue this discussion. But I thought I should post it because it is something that I have experienced in other countries, and indeed, coming to Canada, I saw that students relate to their teachers a little bit different. So let me know what you think. Like I said, for me, I'm personally indifferent, but I'm quite open to learning and to hearing what you think about this, and also whether other provinces should adopt it. Let me know. Cheers.